Hey, and happy Monday to everybody. Here's Araya, and talking about time today. Felt like I had to do to my gorgeous grapevines. They're plentiful and wow, in a few weeks I'm gonna have a whole bunch of grapes. Might need to make some grape juice or something, or related to, gosh, if anybody likes to make wine, talks about time, everything ripens like a well-aged wine, right? So here we are, we're talking about time, and this has been a big theme for me lately. Just gonna swipe here and see who's here, and swipe to the left for comments. So time has been really big for me lately. I have had a history of being sort of the, controlling type, A personality, have to get it all done, got my lists, gotta go. And what I have been really realizing that needs to happen is trust in the universe, trust in the timing of things, not to push. And so in anything that we're creating, whether it's a website, whether it's a flyer, an ad, a invitation to a birthday party, to a wedding, a letter to someone trying to make amends or wanting clarity about a situation, whatever it is you're in the midst of as far as a project, allow and honor the time and space for it to come through in its own divine right timing, because the energy associated with it as you're creating it affects everything. So for instance, creating a website, if you are rushed, frantic, wanting it to be done, stressed, really irritated or frustrated with the process, frustrated with the developer's timing or your timing if you're the one creating it, all of that energy goes into the end product. So writing a book, writing a report, creating something for work, whatever project it is. And so with that whole theme of time, it's just been coming up for me. I had a really big realization. I'm going to tell a couple stories here. Last weekend, I had a memory that I had totally forgotten about, that I was married years ago, and we got married in this beautiful ceremony on the island of Kauai on the cliffs. And I went back maybe 6-7 years later, after we got divorced. I'd gone through a lot of healing, gone through a lot of inner process to let go of all the things that I did wrong, all the things that he did wrong, the mismatch, the perfection of what we brought to each other, and just allowing that. And so I went back to Kauai on a visit, and without even realizing it, Spirit led me back to this same place, and I just was walking and found myself in the exact spot where we had held the ceremony. And when I sat down and reflected there, I realized that my guidance had just led me to walk in perfect reverse steps the entire path that I had walked with my father next to me and my bridesmaids to get out to where the ceremony site was. And unbeknownst to me, I, years later, had gone back and retraced those steps in reverse and realized that I was, in a sense, unwinding it. That it had just almost like erased it from time and from the experience, so that I was totally free of it. And it's just such a powerful, simple tool. And when you allow it to happen, you can't force it, you can't do it whenever you want to. It's got to be in the healing process, and when you've actually reached a certain place in your healing that you can use it. Perfect example happened again today, actually. I was contemplating talking about this for a couple days, and then I had a massage set up this morning with my good friend Isabel, who, if you're in the Reno area, is an incredible therapeutic massage offering. And oddly enough, I've been to her place several times. I drive by on that street on a regular basis to go to the gym where I work out. And all of a sudden today, when I parked, I stopped and I looked across the street. And it brought back a whole huge torrent of memories and pain and little threaded pieces of my last relationship that I was left for the woman who actually lived in the house across the street. And in this really strange occurrence of events, when we broke up and I was off to be pregnant on my own and go through a totally different journey, God's divine joke to me was to place right on the path on a one-way street to my new little apartment that I'd gotten to hide away in, to place this relationship, the new relationship for my ex, on that path. And so the first house in off one of the side streets, I had to drive by it and see his car there every day and feel the pain of that fresh and new, like just ripping me out. And it just was another aspect and element of the whole process that I needed to heal and go through. So very interestingly, to drive up to get my massage today, to be in this space of being ready to talk about time and that little magic trick of how you can actually unweave it and reverse it. And I would love to see who all is here. Hey James, how are you today? I'm so glad this is what you needed, and I'm so glad that I can actually see the comments. Thanks, you guys. Feel free to post any questions as I'm talking, if any come in. And hello Isabel, you just missed. I just ranted and raved about your therapeutic massage. Anyway, telling a little story about driving up in front of Isabel's healing space today and looking across, feeling all these memories come up, feeling all this pain come up, and realizing that there it is. This is the trick that I'm wanting to share today and talk about, and how you undo that energetic time continuum, time-space continuum aspect of the event in your life. And so after going through this incredible massage and having more of those pieces, because it all got triggered, and it was just perfect going and having this session at that time with someone who could help me release those pieces in the physical body. I could feel, the first question she asked me was, okay, let's tune into where it's sitting in the physical body. This whole story, where's it sitting? To be able to tune into that, to say, yes, it's right here. It's right between my shoulder blades. It's predominantly on the right, but it's right there. And I've had stress there for years. It's been affecting me for a long time. That's where I typically carry stress. But this particular event was holding in that place, holding in the base of my throat chakra. Maybe some of you guys can relate to this. All the things that I wanted to say and yell and do at these two individuals that I felt were causing me so much pain. Well, I was the one that created it. My soul created the whole event for this place in time, for getting down here 9 years, exactly 9 years later, to go through and have the clarity and walk through the door in a higher level spiral in a different way. So having all that come up and out, having a chance to release it consciously, and then go in and have the conscious awareness now of this tool that's been in my tool belt that I can now help people use for themselves. And if they can't do it themselves, I can certainly facilitate that. That's one of the things I do in my work. But having the experience today to go in and finish the rest of the physical body release. That's one of the keys. All the places that it's holding in the body, get those released. Get the memories out there. Get the emotions associated with it. I had some more emotions arise that I had to let flow freely while I'm on the massage table. Thanks for the box of Kleenex, Isabel. And going through that, and then realizing when I was done, yes, I felt really free of this finally. We can feel really free when we go through a big healing, and then we go back and there's like weird threads that still pop in periodically, like this memory of it or this piece of it, or just like feeling like there's just this little something that's not complete with it. And so very easily, what I did today, I went, and the exact path that I used to drive to go by and have to see that house, see his car, go and turn left into my driveway, I actually went and did that. I reversed it all. It's a one-way street, so I'm really glad that nobody was on the street driving at the time, because I went in and I pulled into my old parking space, into my old driveway. And then I put it in reverse, and I reversed the exact path in reverse all the way down the alley, out to the street, very carefully on the sides where people park, so that nobody was driving down that street and we had a collision, all the way back to the point where I used to feel stress in my body when I would be driving and know that it was coming up, and know that I'd be looking to see if his car was there or not. And so going back in and just reversing it, going back to where I used to feel the stress begin, and then having the total release and knowing that it was undone. And I was able to turn my car down a different alley, drive out a different way, and it's almost like it never happened in that sense. So you guys can use that. If you need help, please contact me. This is one of the things I do in my work, is help people move through creatively. I've got a lot of tools in my tool belt through any energetic blocks. It's just an energetic block. Happens to be in the time-space continuum. Most people don't realize we can move forward and back in time. We can work forward and back in time. I can go in energetically and work in the forward or the backward, future or past. You can too, but sometimes you need help to get there. And so with this specific trick, I call it a trick because it's magic. I mean, it's one of the things of magic in the universe that we can learn how to do to unweave things and be truly free of them, of those final residual pieces. And so essentially whatever the event was, if it was a wedding ceremony like my first example, if it was a painful thing of driving by a specific place, if it was a work event where maybe you got fired or didn't get a promotion or had maybe a traumatic experience in a specific alleyway, for some reason the event of rape or assault in some way, being mugged for men, having anything like that come up in your life. I know there's traumas out there, I know you guys have had them, and there's examples popping in your head. Go back when you're ready and wait for the right timing. Ask your spirit guides to give you a sign when it's the right timing. Go back and go to that place. Remember the steps that you physically took to get there, and then reverse them. One by one, walking backwards if you have to, you don't have to, but just retracing your steps in reverse of all the steps that you took to get there. So if it's in a church, if it's in a park, if it's like mine was on the cliffs of Kauai, go back to that place. Get out of the car if you need to, in the same way, have the car parked where you parked to get out of the limo, say, and go into the church. Go to the altar. Reverse the steps all the way back out, feeling yourself, take your power back, take your freedom back as you go. So I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, please send me some questions. You can private message me if you ever want to talk about doing some work together. And it seems maybe like, oh, is that really possible? It is. Trust me. I've lived through it. I've had 2 prime examples to share right now. And I know there's going to be more come up. And I know you guys have some things on your heart that you're going, I need to go do that. So take advantage of it. Try it, especially if you're in that place where you're ready. And definitely ask for guidance. Ask your angels and guardians to, if you can't hear them directly, that's another thing we could work on together. But if you want to, just ask them for a sign. Say, hey, knock a booger over, put something in my way so that I know it's time for me to go and reverse that. Or you can just go and try it, and you'll know if you feel free, if it was the right timing or not, but it will probably bring up some big emotions to be back in that physical spot. And that's another key. Let the emotions flow. If you're in that place and if emotions are rising, let them out. Even if it's screams, even if it's anger, even if it's greed, jealousy, hatred, whatever, let that rise. And I'm just encouraging you to do so, empowering you to do so, and I'm so grateful to be on this journey, to have people tuning in. Thanks, James and Isabel, and all those beautiful hearts coming across the screen. I love you guys. I love my work. I'm passionate about it. I'm passionate about moving people forward in their journey and having them actually feel free. Freedom and time are the 2 big things for me right now, and I'm here to share that. That's what my journey is about, and God has put it on my heart to be here full-time for everybody now. That was a big leap of faith for me, my own leap of faith, quitting my part-time job finally last June to really move into this full-time because I know it's needed. And I thank you guys for tuning in. Shout out, big hello and hugs to all the people tuning in later, watching it later, because I know I came on early. I am not feeling stuck by time and feeling free to follow the timeline that I feel inspired, and I was inspired to come on early today. So watch for my lives. They'll always be on Monday, but I'm gonna probably just switch it up and go when I feel inspired. So have a fabulous Monday afternoon. Really appreciate you guys tuning in, and I really look forward to working with some of you that feel called. Please private message me. This type of work, or even a broader program like the Transformation Springboard program, which is 12 weeks long and is 6 one-on-one sessions that really move you through some stuff. I know it's going to be great. So enjoy. I'm going to be enjoying this grape harvest in like 2 weeks. I'm really excited. They're just starting to turn a blush red. And so if you live in the Reno area and want to taste some fabulous grapes, I'm happy to share, because I'm going to have over like 30 pounds of grapes all in about 2 weeks time. So have a great Monday. Thanks guys. Bye.